Mufussy and GALEER.
Hello and welcome to Dropkick the Commute, the only podcast on the internet where two guys have some microphones, they run a wrestling podcast, and one of them is in a car now with video.
Can you see me? Because I can't.
Hopefully.
I hope you can see me. We're in daylight savings time. Or are we not? It's over, right? Or what are we in right now?
It ended.
Okay.
So, yeah.
It ended. So, yeah, you're probably... This is what you see is what you get. If there's no video on this, then chances are it probably didn't make the cut because it's too fucking dark out.
Honestly, I'll probably
You should honestly just blow it up.
Yeah, I'll still use it, and it'll just be like an ominous black screen.
Well, I was going to say just blow it up and, like, deep fry it. That might be even funnier. So being the genius that I am, I had a couple of GoPros just lying around, and you know what? I thought this is good, too. It's not distracting, which I really like, because there's no, I can't see myself. It's just a fucking thing sitting on my dash. But I said as part of this agreement for me to use this and take video, is I said I would get myself an actual dash cam. So we're working on that right now. Because if I'm going to have video, how fucking stupid of me would it be to only have video of myself and not video of the road in front of me?
Yeah, right.
So dash cam is a thing. We're working on it.
We should get it so that you have multiple GoPros. So like you have one outside, one inside, one on the hood.
I can be like the fucking Google Earth car.
Yeah, it'll be like the Google car, but for the podcast, and I can cut between all of them. Surely I'll edit it quickly that way.
Yeah, surely this will not take you extra time. I will say though, you might have, depending on how this goes, you might have a lot more work to do because it's raining out, and I don't know if it's gonna stay as quiet as it is right now, but we've really only had one like rain episode.
Yeah, it's true, which is very surprising considering we've done this for what, 6 months now.
Yeah, we've been lucky.
Yeah,
6 months goes crazy, by the way.
it does. Very close to 6 months. Very close.
Yeah.
Or no, we are 6 months. We are 6 months.
Are we?
Yeah, we are. We are 6 months. It's true.
We also never celebrated 50 episodes, so happy 50 episodes.
Woo! The 50 episode thing is weird because, like, we started numbering them. We didn't number
Yeah,
some
we
of
definitely
them,
have way
all
more.
that stuff. So we're probably at, like, 75 by now.
That's a lot. That's too many, in my opinion.
All right, GALEER, we had a pretty decent week of wrestling, I would say, but we had some big AEW news to start, I would say. I would say it's pretty big. The biggest thing I would say that is big for me, in my opinion, is they announced that they're having 3 shows at the Hammerstein Ballroom. We did see rumors of this, but it is now confirmed.
Yeah, it's like, I think, isn't it like a Dynamite followed by a Collision?
Yeah, they're doing a...
Like the day after?
They're doing a taping of Ring of Honor, they're doing a taping of Dynamite, and a taping of Collision, so...
Is that all in one night?
Not all in one night. I think they're back-to-back nights. So they're going to do Dynamite and Collision, and then the Ring of Honor one the night before. But, so they're doing 3 shows in the Hammerstein Ballroom, which is big. That's going to be a good venue. I'm sure it's going to sell out. It's going to be nice. But the other thing that goes into this is they announced a ton of small shows, which we've been saying, and many people have been saying. I'm not going to take all the credit for it. But they announced a lot of small shows, venues that are like 5K or less, just all across the U.S. for the winter. And I think that is going to help so much, and especially with the production revamp that they've been talking about. I think this is going to be huge. It's going to make the episodes feel bigger. Even though they're smaller, they're in smaller venues, it's going to feel big because you're going to have a full crowd at these venues.
Yeah, and there's not going to be all this fucking empty space. And these... They keep booking these, like, arenas that are way too big and not selling out. It's just not good for them, you know? So,
and that just leads into you know, the fucking internet saying, oh my God, there's only 2 people there, there's 100 people there, and all this stuff. But like,
well, unfortunately, what's gonna happen is they're gonna, let's just say if they do really good, which I can bet that it's gonna like produce positive results for them.
yeah,
Wrestling fans are always gonna find a way to take the negative from this and be like, oh, they had to downgrade their venues.
Right.
Like it'll be the most killer show in a 5,000 seat arena, and they're gonna be like, yeah, but they couldn't sell out a fucking, you know, the fucking All-State arena or whatever.
right.
And that's just how it's gonna be always. And that's fine. That's fine. But yeah, this is I think a net positive for AEW. I'm finally glad. I'm glad it's like something. I'm glad we're not like totally delusional anymore, Tony Khan, and that we're actually gonna, you know, take a look-see.
The other thing too is like, they probably booked these bigger venues like way ahead of time. I'm sure there's a lot of planning that goes into that shit.
Yeah.
You know, so they probably booked them, and then they were like, well, fuck, we're stuck with them now. Like, so they have to do it.
Yeah.
They lower the setup, you know, because even when you go and buy tickets, you can't buy seats for the whole arena. Usually it's
Exactly.
you know, set up a certain amount of seats. But so they were probably locked into these bigger venues, and I think 2025 is going to be kind of their year of rebuilding, especially with the production revamp. They're going to Max.
So what does this production revamp like entail? Do we know?
So they're getting all new production trucks, and one of their things, they had to book these bigger venues because all of their setup is too big. So like the tunnel, the lighting rigs, all of that, so they couldn't fit into some of these small venues because all of their equipment was too big. So that's part of it.
So they're like downsizing?
They're gonna downsize the entrance, I'm assuming, for like the smaller venues. They're gonna go kind of minimal, you know, kind of like Raw and SmackDown did. Like, they lowered the set, they made it smaller, more minimal. I'm hoping that in this downsize of the lighting rig, they, you know, one of the biggest things is crowd lights. Like, they don't turn on crowd lights. They don't turn on house lights very often at all. So it makes it feel that much more empty because it's all dark and shit.
Right, it looks just kind of like a liminal space.
Right, and when they were in the esports arena, you had those house lights, you had that small entrance, and that's why those shows for Collision felt so good, you know, because it was like a full small space.
Yeah.
And then the other thing is they are prepping also bigger things like more cameras, and I guess they're gonna be able to cut between way more cameras too, because they're prepping for All In Texas, and that's gonna be a massive show for them because that's at Globe Life Field, so that's a fucking baseball stadium, you know, so that's a massive space. So they're revamping their whole production crew and trucks and lineup and everything to like prep for these shows.
Again, I think it's going to be a net positive for them. I didn't know about all that downsizing stuff, so that's really cool. I appreciate their willingness to like realize when, you know, stuff stops working and figuring out like how to change it.
Now we need that for the booking too, but well, you know.
Right. Yeah. Well, one thing at a time. You know,
Yeah.
Rome wasn't built in a day. I will say Full Gear, as this happens with every AEW pay-per-view, but Full Gear is shaping up to be really good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, another thing, too, I picked up, is there some kind of, like, beef about them getting the Hammerstein between, like, them and GCW?
Apparently, because
I like read very little on it, and it sounds like there's
what's the GCW guy's name?
Brett Lauderdale.
Yeah, so he I don't know, they like booked a show there, and they're like, oh my god, it's so big for us and all this stuff, and then I guess WWE was also looking at the Hammerstein, And then AEW booked the Hammerstein, and Brett Lauderdale was all mad, and he's like, come on, we're like a small show. This is big for us, and you guys are downsizing, and you like took it, and it's like, ugh. So he's just mad that they're going in there. Like, I don't know.
Wrestling companies are always just going to try to, outdo each other. So I could imagine AEW probably caught wind of this and were like, we need to book it first because it would be better for us. I think it would equally, like, GCW is small, but I think like a venue like this would equally benefit both of them.
Right.
GCW does a lot of shows at Hammerstein, so it's not like a super unfamiliar thing.
Yeah.
It's just AEW, I guess, just got to it first. And then on the same side of that coin, I think I saw something about WWE trying to keep, they were like trying their best to keep someone from going to AEW. And I'm trying to remember, the name is lost on me, but but like, my point being is that they're going to be proactive in trying to like secure things before the competition. That's like very normal. I can understand from a perspective of like AEW has more money than GCW probably, so it's obviously easier than for them.
Yeah. Well, the other thing with the Hammerstein too is
welcome to Taco Bell. Will you be checking in with the app today?
it's so loud today.
Yeah, I'm picking up a mobile order for Shane.
A cheesy double beef, a mixed female, a spicy potato, soft taco, a large baja, and nacho fries.
Yep.
You can pull forward.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Hi.
Hi.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Have a good night.
You too. I hope they didn't think I was like purposefully recording them.
Today we're gonna be doing a Taco Bell.
We're gonna do a Taco Bell. That's it. All right.
So
What's
I was
next
gonna
on the
say
docket?
the other thing about the Hammerstein is the fact that you can make the argument Ring of Honor is not at all what it used to be, but Ring of Honor used to do a lot of shows in the Hammerstein as well, so there is legacy there. So it's kind of big for Ring of Honor to be there. Again, regardless of or not whether it's the same as it used to be. And the other thing is AEW. They're doing this whole November to Remember thing. That's an ECW thing. And they do a lot of, like, old ECW shit. So there's legacy there as well, because ECW used to do a lot of their pay-per-views there. And especially, probably the most famous ECW One Night Stand and all that. That was at the Hammerstein. So, there's legacy with these shows, and I think that's big for AEW.
Yeah, I agree. I think it's big for no matter who books it,
Right. It's just a legendary, like, venue.
It's a great venue, yeah. That's it. That's all there is to it.
The other AEW news is, I briefly touched upon it, but AEW is confirmed to be on Max starting January 1st with AEW Fight for the Fallen. They are making their streaming debut before Raw goes to Netflix, which is crazy.
That is crazy, and they did it in, like, I feel like a quicker amount of time.
That was very fast, yeah.
Hopefully it proves to be, just as successful.
I guess it's estimated number-wise, it's going to double the numbers, like, projected. Because a lot of people have Max.
Just because more
it's probably,
people have Max.
Yeah, it's probably one of the less popular streaming services, I would say. Like, you have Netflix, you have Prime Video. I would say those are probably on top. Disney Plus, obviously. Yeah. And then you have Max. I think that's like number 4, at least in my eyes. And I imagine the numbers are pretty close to that.
Yeah, I'd really like to see their numbers go up. I'm really excited for them to be on Max. It's feeling like their catalog isn't going to be on Max just yet. Just based on the way that it's been promoted, it hasn't really advertised their like past shit, but I guess we'll really find out once it's up there. It really just kind of sounds like old pay-per-views, if anything. I'd really like for old episodes of Dynamite to be watchable. I think that would be really cool.
Oh, I would too. I would absolutely go back and watch like from the beginning, because I never saw it. So,
dude, watch it from the beginning. That's a great, like, That's wrestling, since it's so new still, like, that's something I would watch from the beginning.
Yeah.
And just watch.
You know, like, you go and you try and watch, like, oh, I'm going to start from the Attitude Era, and it's so daunting because that's literally,
and you're just like, oh, that's 20 years ago.
20 years ago. Over 20 years
plus.
ago.
Yeah.
You know, so it's like, oh, shit, I'm not going to be able to watch all that. But AEW, it's like, okay, it's 5 years old. Like, it's going to take a bit, but I could watch most of that.
Right, yeah. I think it'll... eventually, if it's not there now, it'll eventually make its way there. But I'm excited regardless for pay-per-views kind of going forward to be on there and yeah, all that good stuff.
2 more things for AEW I want to brush upon. Kenny Omega is returning to New Japan, hopefully Omega. January 5th, Wrestle Dynasty. Things are heating up with him and Gabe Kidd. He was on he did an interview on Fightful, and he was like shooting on Gabe Kidd. So he's like, you know, I never wanted this to be a story and like all this stuff. Obviously, he's playing it up. He's playing it up. It's a story. He's gonna face like Gabe Kidd.
Yeah, they had a whole backstage.
But that was a really fun interview to watch. So I highly recommend going to watch that. So I am really excited to see Kenny back in the ring. That's going to be epic. Also, Toni Storm. Let's talk about her.
Let's talk about her and Kenny, because, well, as her specifically, though, because...
Toni Storm has obviously been off AEW for a bit, but she went and wrestled in CMLL, Stardom, New Japan. She did an interview, and she's like, I'm not used to losing. I've been everywhere, and I've lost everywhere. Usually I'm the winner. And she's like, you know what? I think I'm all done with wrestling. I'm going to back out. And she ended the interview by saying, chin down, tits in, and don't bother watching for the shoe. Presumably, this is a work.
It's a work. Yeah,
and
it's got to be a work. Was this
she's going to appear at Full Gear during the championship celebration.
That's what I'm saying. Like, AEW has a tendency to do press like this right before something happens that affects that person, i.e. Swerve's house burning down. She's not retiring. If anything, it's a Swerve and she shows up at Full Gear. But I'm almost going to bank on... we were talking, and you were last episode, you were like, is she going to still be Timeless Tony? And I said, yes, I think so. After this, I don't think so. Yeah. I think maybe it's the end of Timeless Tony Storm, and it's just she's retiring that gimmick, which I think is a tragedy. I love Timeless Tony Storm. She's barely been in that whole gimmick for a year, maybe just on a year actually.
Yeah.
But yeah, dude, no, it's I think it's gonna be our OG Tony Storm coming back in the Pack tracksuit.
I love the Pack tracksuit. Listen, those tracksuits made me an asshole, but we had
a rich
fashion.
Asshole though.
Yeah.
Hey yo, youtube.com/@Galeer Championship Wrestling if you don't know what we're talking about. No, I think she'll come back as OG like punk rock Tony Storm.
I think that's about it for news.
Yeah.
You want to hop into some of the weekly stuff here?
One thing I actually do want to build off of that real quick is like her and it was her, Kenny, and someone else.
Oh, Eddie Kingston.
Eddie Kingston. They're all like, I know what they're trying to do.
Yeah.
I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to put more focus on the new guys, the new baby faces that they want to push.
Yeah.
But all three of them have been like, AEW doesn't need me.
Yeah, they said, oh, it's just fine without me.
And like, sure, while that might be true with the direction it's going in, I don't really think it does you any good to have like, arguably, well, obviously Kenny, and Toni Storm, and yeah, they're all huge stars.
Yeah, they are.
Arguably, some of your biggest stars in your company saying that just like rubs me the wrong way.
Yeah, it feels like they're almost like forced to say it in a way.
Well, yeah, it definitely feels they're probably like, say this so that it makes them feel like they are really, really trying to push this new generation of stars to feel more important. But I don't necessarily think, I would say that is okay to do if they were like retiring.
Yeah.
But Eddie's injured, Tony's on hiatus, Kenny's coming back from an injury, so they're not retiring wrestling.
Right.
I'd say if it were like a passing of the torch thing, like a John Cena type deal, you know, but that's not the case here. In fact, I would really love to see Eddie come back and be one of the like flag bearers for, you know, taking back AEW kind of thing.
Yeah.
This time last year, he was a triple champion. You
That's
know?
insane.
I know. I just miss him. I miss him so much, dude.
I do too.
So, yeah, I don't necessarily agree with that, but I do like the direction AEW is heading in. With that being said, do you want to work backwards? Do you want to start with AEW?
Sure. Yeah, we can start with Dynamite last night. All-Star 8-man tag, really good match. What a tag team of Osprey, Powerhouse Hobbs, Ricochet, and Mark Davis.
Yeah, it was good.
They say all-star 8-man tag. This shit was an all-star 8-man tag. They faced the Don Callis family, Konosuke Takeshita, Kyle Fletcher, Lance Archer, and Brian Cage.
The thing is, I hate the all-star tags, but this one like felt real because it wasn't just like thrown together.
Right. There's some meaning behind it.
Yeah, it was really good, and everyone really, it was great getting to see Mark Davis back in the saddle. Brian Cage and Lance Archer are insane as a tag team. At first, I was like, what the fuck is this shit? Like, I don't care about this. But I was like, okay. Unfortunately, it kind of makes you forget that Brian Cage is Ring of Honor television champion. But they're a good tag team. This whole match was killer. Chef is like super obsessed with the way Takeshita pins Mark Davis.
Shout out to Chef, dude.
Yeah, shout out to Chef, but you need to be like put in a fucking empty room or something. But like, yeah, same. Like, the Takeshita was so dominant in this, which is good. Powerhouse Hobbs hurt his leg and then came back out and started fighting on one leg just as good.
Yeah.
I thought that was amazing. Yeah, he looks great. I'm so glad he's a babyface. Put a TNT championship back on that guy. Like, man, what a machine. I'm excited for Ospreay and Kyle Fletcher. They had a really...
That is going to be killer.
And here's the thing, too, is they had a match. It was Ospreay's second match, I believe, in AEW, like, after being signed.
Oh, shit.
They had a main event on Dynamite after his match with Takeshita at Revolution.
Oh, yeah. I remember that.
Yeah. And Kyle Fletcher was on the map, but he is, like, way more important now. So
yeah,
I think he's, like, in that time, he's undergone, like, a huge transformation, both, like, physically and just mentally. This match is going to... It's an Ospreay match. It's probably going to be my match of the night,
yeah,
if I'm being honest.
He's a great heel so far, too. I think it's funny because, like, Ospreay called him out on his shit. He's like, you're saying you don't want to be an Ospreay clone, but then you're saying you're doing exactly what I would do, so, like, make up your mind, bruv.
Yeah.
And I don't know. He's just been a great heel so far with the Callis family, and I think he, like you said, he has, like, really changed his mindset and, like, transformed here, and he's doing great so far, and I'm really excited for that match.
Yeah, it's gonna be awesome. Matches
that were thrown together randomly: Chris Statlander versus Hikaru Shida. The setup to this match made zero sense to me because Chris Statlander is facing Mercedes Moné at Full Gear for the TBS Championship. Hikaru Shida walks up to her and goes, "When you win that championship, I want the first go at it." And Chris Statlander said, "Why don't we just face each other now?" That's not what she wanted. She wanted the title match.
Yeah, I will say it was a good match though.
Oh, it was a good match, but it's like...
But it was very just like, yeah, make it make sense. And then Mercedes came out after.
Yeah.
Made Camille, who is in a sling, attack them, which was very interesting. Dude, just turned Camille on her.
Yeah.
I'm over it. She got shreked by Chris Statlander. Do you think she's winning?
Chris?
Yeah.
I want her to. I'm sick of Mercedes
well.
with this title, bro.
I'd say if Chris wins, like, Have it be because of Camille or because of Shida even.
Yeah, have Chris win, have Camille turn on Mercedes, and
because like Chris
make
is
them
getting
feud.
a big push.
Yeah, she is.
Again, I'm over Mercedes being champion, and it sucks because she is like, she should feel a lot more important than she feels right now. And I can't necessarily put my finger on what it is. She just hasn't had good matches.
You know what this feels like?
What?
Remember when all the Twitch streamers were leaving Twitch to get that mixer bag?
Yeah, AJ Styles.
Yeah.
He was a mixer.
It feels
head.
like Mercedes is just having her mixer contract, and then she's eventually gonna go back or some shit.
But she left on some pretty bad terms, it seemed.
Well, the same terms that Naomi left on, and Naomi's back.
That's true. So I guess anything's possible. Yeah, that would be a shame, and that would really not look good for Tony Khan.
Oh, not at all.
But yeah, I don't know
Mercedes is hyping up AEW and like all this, like every interview she does, she puts AEW over and all that, and like Tony Khan's a great boss and all this stuff, but it's like, yeah, you're getting, millions of dollars, and also no, that's it. You're getting millions of dollars, of course you're gonna put them over. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
Yeah,
I could be very wrong, and she could very much enjoy it and all this stuff, but it's also like,
well, I hope
working.
she enjoys it,
Yeah.
But I feel like it could be tough to enjoy it if your fans aren't enjoying it.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to speak for every single wrestling fan that watches AEW, but like a lot of people, at least in my circle and circles adjacent to me, have kind of just been like, it's just like nothing. It just doesn't feel like anything. Put the belt on Chris, that would be cool. I don't really think Mercedes is giving us any reason to allow her like a record-breaking TBS championship reign. And
right.
That sounds so shitty to say,
but
like, I don't know. I'm just not with it.
Yeah.
I wish I was. I loved her in WWE, dude.
I did too. And she has some fucking banger matches, legendary moments, record-breaking moments.
People can't even be like, oh, she's getting buried like everyone else that goes to AEW, because she's not. She's not. She's being heavily booked and featured and all this stuff.
And even if she lost the belt, I'm sure we would see her just as much, because,
I don't know. And I wonder if it is like she caters more to a WWE fan base.
Yeah. And that's very possible.
A lot, I don't know. But again, I can't speak for everybody. I almost kind of want to look and see what other people are like saying about it.
Bobby Lashley was in a handicap match against Joe Keys and the infamous Cheeseburger.
I love Cheeseburger, dude.
Cheeseburger is so great. People were shitting on this, but bro, it's like, no. Don't shit on it. It's fine. It was a squash match. It was quick, but it was fun. It was just showing you, oh, Bobby Lashley can fucking destroy people.
Yeah, I was excited when it was like, oh, he's going to actually be in action. His debut AEW matches tonight.
Yeah, but it's against Cheeseburger.
It's against two jobbers, and I'm like, I get
the hate.
I feel like
his first match should have been Full Gear.
I think his first match just shouldn't have been like a squash match, because we already know what Bobby Lashley can do. Yeah. I feel like squash matches tend to be to show us that, like, oh shit, this guy's cleaning house and like he shouldn't be fucked with. Like, if we didn't know Bobby Lashley, this would be the perfect. It was like Camille did the same thing, and like not as many people knew Camille, so it made a little more sense. Everyone knows who Bobby Lashley is. I'd be shocked if you didn't. But it was fun. I'm just way more excited for his match with Swerve. Swerve's on some villain shit. I love it.
Yeah, at the end of this match, this is the important part. Swerve's music hits. He comes out from under the ring with a chain and fucking decks Bobby Lashley, building up to Saturday. And that's going to be a killer match, man. We had Darby versus Claudio. Banger match. Good stuff. Darby's a madman. Lots of tossing him. Claudio stood on the commentary table, picked up Darby Allin, chucked him into the timekeeper's area, and Darby, like, fucking died, dude.
Yeah, the table didn't even break.
The table didn't break. It fell over, and then he got tucked in with the apron that was on the table cover that was on the table. He got tucked in, had a little nap
he was
with
all
the ref.
cozy. Took a nappy.
Cozy little guy.
It was good. It was nice little. Fucking Claudio went over too, which is huge. I did like him beating the 10 count only to get destroyed by a clothesline and pinned.
Yeah.
That was good.
MJF had a little video package and came out and goes, Roderick Strong, you're latching on to Adam Cole, but I did the same thing, but I knew that he was a piece of shit. And then he brings up Roderick Strong's mother shooting his father in front of him when he was a kid. Based. I was like, oh my God, dude.
Yeah. And then he was like, your mom should have shot you, pussy.
Yeah. Fucking crazy.
And then Roderick came out with a pretty passionate promo after. I don't like take that guy too seriously just because of his like cadence.
Yeah.
I feel like he just kind of he talks like a dude. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It was a good promo though.
It was.
And then, meanwhile, Adam Cole and Kyle O'Reilly is like, I tweeted, Kyle O'Reilly's dressed like an 8th grader. He just came out with his conglomeration t-shirt and his khaki pants.
Yeah.
But he was like, you're going to get hurt again if you keep messing with MJF. He's like, you got to stop this.
Yeah.
We're getting the Undisputed Era back together, it seems.
Yeah.
I feel like perhaps Adam Cole gets involved in the Full Gear match, but then perhaps also Kyle O'Reilly has some type of involvement or maybe even tries to stop him.
That would be
like,
interesting.
Don't do that. It's not for you. This isn't your scene.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Like, you lost your chance, bitch.
Why does Kyle O'Reilly care so much?
I don't know. Wheeler Yuta versus Orange Cassidy. Very good match. The important thing is the ending. When it got cut off on YouTube TV, so I had to look it up. But they duct tape Orange Cassidy's like hands in his pockets and like around him, and then beat the shit out of him. Same ending as usual. Death Riders come out on top. I saw a comparison. It's very Bloodline-esque on SmackDown, where like 6 weeks in a row the Bloodline would come out and just take out whoever's in the ring and then stand there with their ones up. It's like very similar to that. But the Death Riders come out. They beat the shit out of Orange Cassidy. Some people were hating on Orange Cassidy. Like, they put his hands in his pockets and everything, and he still just did the light shin kicks, and then they beat the shit out of him. People were like, oh my God, this is so fucking stupid. This is supposed to be a serious moment. And I'm like, in my head, thinking about the psychology of it, it's like Orange Cassidy is showing, hey, I still don't give a fuck, man. You can do what you want to me. I'm still going to have this crazy match at Full Gear and win.
I wouldn't even say that. If I would just say that, like, that's just how he fights.
The whole thing is, like, he's supposed to be stepping up in this, like, serious role and, like, saving AEW, essentially. So that's what people want. But in my head, I'm like, he can still step up and do that at Full Gear. But right now, you're putting his hands in his pockets, trying to show, like, oh my God, you're fucking useless and dumb. And he still just does his little kicks and does his goofy stuff to show, like, hey, you can try and scare me. You're not scaring me. I'm still fighting you at Full Gear. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's how I saw it. Art is subjective, Galeer.
No, I know. I think, he's going to lose. And you know why he's going to lose? It's because he'll never change. He's never going to change his ways, and therefore that means he won't win the championship.
Do we want to just quickly do NXT?
Yeah, well, hang on. Very important piece of AEW content you missed. Big Justice and Big Boom AJ. Are you kidding me? We got.
I'm so sorry.
I'm kind of disappointed in you. We got a great little segment backstage with Renee, and he said, "I'm gonna do what we do every day to QT Marshall on Saturday, and that's bring the boom." And apparently he's got his power boom.
Yeah,
finisher.
that is his finisher. Yep.
That's good.
I love how his tights have
a
double chunk chocolate cookie on the leg, and he's got the boom around his wrists.
Also, their theme music, I saw a clip. I think it was like a Rampage clip or something.
It's literally, "We bring the boom."
It's the song, yeah. Which is great. And then we got a big announcement, but he said, when I pin QT Marshall, I only want one person to ring the bell, and that's the Rizzler.
Yo.
And I gotta say, obviously, Big Boom AJ looks great.
Yeah.
Big Justice kind of ruled in this segment too.
He did.
You know, he just like, I don't know. He's a great little like sidekick. Obviously, he's got unfortunately years of social media training with his dad. But that's a conversation for another day. But he knows like how to do it. Yeah, exactly. And he's looking in the camera and he's like, you know, he's like, blah, 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 whatever. Yeah, this is going to be fun. And I really just can't wait for people to just comment on this specifically and just be like, this is so fucking dumb.
Well, it's already been getting so much fucking heat, and they're like, oh my God, this is like Jay Leno wrestling. This is WCW's RoboCop.
I don't know if this is the greatest comparison to make, but it's like fucking Jake Paul in boxing, right? You might hate to see it, because the kid's a prick, but you cannot deny the it is like marketing fucking genius.
Even Logan Paul in WWE, bro.
Right. It's a no-brainer. This is just like a great way, and people would be like, "Oh my God, he wrestles! I want to watch that. I'm gonna pay $50 for pay-per-view."
Yeah.
Or at the very least, I'm gonna go stream it illegally, and at least you're getting eyes on it, right?
Yeah.
Nah, dude, like, this is cool. This is fun. And, like, also, wrestling is fucking stupid anyways. Wrestling is dumb. This is dumb. And that's what makes it so good.
It's so fun and just stupid. And, like, the thing is, too, this has story behind it. Like, him and QT Marshall wrestled 20 years ago, bro.
Exactly.
And they mention it. It's not like, oh, you should know. They've mentioned it in the build.
I would like to incorporate that, they should really show more of the social media stuff on TV. Like the whole podcast thing they did, and then also, like, the diss track.
Well, they did that dramatic, trailer. Did you see that? That was in the episode.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. True. Yeah.
So they did that at least. But I don't know. It's fun, and also like he's involving his kid, man. It's a dad and a kid having a fun time at a wrestling show. Like, how are you gonna hate on that? You know,
can't.
Like,
you really can't.
And the other thing is, backstage, apparently, he is getting like praised because he still has like the wrestling mindset. He's being very helpful. I forget who reported on this, but he's helping in whatever way he can backstage. He's still got like the respectful wrestling mindset, and he's just got a whole good mindset about everything, you know? He's there to have a fun match, have a good time, promote it. He's been promoting it like fucking crazy.
Right. Like, again, it's a no-brainer. Like, I feel like, and it's in the 0 hour. So actually, no one's even paying for the pay-per-view yet.
Yeah.
And then they watch it on YouTube or whatever, and then they'll be like, oh, okay, I want to see what else they're doing. Maybe I will buy this, you know?
And hate on it all you want. Their segment got 2.9 million views on Twitter. Numbers, man. You can hate on it all you want. It got fucking numbers, and that's what AEW cares about.
It got numbers and exactly.
We're coming up on 50 minutes here.
Hey, this has been a very AEW heavy episode, and actually, that makes me very happy because
that means it's good stuff.
It's good content, and it's from AEW. So
covering NXT very quickly. Iron Survivor qualifying match. Nathan Frazier went over. He is going to be in Deadline. Stephanie Vaquer and Jada Parker. Stephanie Vaquer went over. She's in Deadline. Tony D'Angelo versus Brooke Jensen. Good match. Tony D'Angelo win. Fuck Bleacher Report. They gave it a D. I completely disagree with that.
You just gotta stop. You gotta stop going on.
I gotta.
Report, man.
Mixed tag match with Shante Theodonis, Carmen Petrovic versus Dion Lennox and Brindley Reese. This stuff was fun. The angle that they're doing with Ashante and Carmen is very interesting. There's some sexual tension there, and it's.
Oh, there's something.
Yeah, it's something for sure. Zarya versus Ren Sinclair. I fucking love Ren Sinclair, dude. Like, great match. Obviously,
she's our GOAT, friend of the show.
Friend of the show, Ren Sinclair. Obviously, Zarya fucking destroyed Ren Sinclair, but it was a good match, like, regardless. And she fought back a little bit. Great seller. Just good stuff. Tatum Paxley had a little bit of a return here. Answers the open challenge of Fallon Henley, which is going to be next week. She's going for that mid-card women's North American title.
Hell yeah, Tatum Paxley rules.
Big news from NXT. #1 contender match for the NXT Championship. Ridge Holland versus Andre Chase. Chase U is officially over.
Yeah,
this made me so sad, dude. They really swerved me because at the end, like, all of Chase U came out, and Ridge Holland destroyed all of them. Andre Chase gets back up. He does the give me a C, give me a H. He does that, and you think he's gonna get the win, like 2 3/4, and Ridge ends up going over. And I was like, "Oh shit!" Big sad.
It was sad, man.
It was
big sad. Been going strong for like 3 years.
Yeah. Yeah.
But hey, all good things must come to an end. Where does Andre Chase go from here?
I don't know.
You said Chase Community College. Was that you?
Yeah, Chase Community College. Yeah, they said Chase U was over, but they didn't say anything about Chase Community College. So.
Or Chase Retirement Home.
Oh no.
Or Chase Career Fair. Or Chase High School.
Chase High School.
Chase Elementary.
Oh, man.
Hey, Ridge is going to be the next challenger. That's going to go hard.
Yeah. And that is officially at Deadline, so.
Ridge's finisher. The fucking, like, package DDT or whatever.
Oh, yeah. Also, shout out to Zarya using the F5.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Well, hey, someone's got to use it now.
Yeah. Raw, we had a taped Raw, so some of this stuff we already knew, but this build to women's war games, man.
Ass?
Absolute ass. Rhea Ripley did come back. She's wearing that orbital face mask. So that'll be fun, but the build itself is ass. So on one side, we've got Nia Jax, Tiffany Stratton, Candice LeRae, Liv Morgan, Raquel Rodriguez versus Bianca, Jade, Io Sky, Naomi, and Rhea Ripley.
Rhea Ripley coming back was a huge pop.
Big pop, but this whole match was just tossed together.
It's tossed together, and not only that, is now both your women's champions are in it.
Yeah.
And it's like, why? Again, I know there's a 5 pay-per-view match fucking rule, whatever you want to call it, that we apparently need to follow.
Well, and the other thing is we're not even going to see, the U.S. Championship tournament winner, because that's happening at Saturday night's main event. So,
like, what matches are confirmed? 2 War Games matches.
Yeah. Damian versus Gunther.
Cody and Kevin, I presume.
Not confirmed yet, but could happen on SmackDown.
Probably, though.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't know.
Maybe there's only going to be 4.
I mean, War Games matches are like an hour long, so yeah, could be.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, I'm not really understanding it. I think at that point it would have just made more sense to do an NXT Women's War Games, or just not have a Women's War Games
and just
at
have
all,
women's matches.
Yeah, I don't know. And then it's like, yeah, I don't care too much. It'll be good. War Games matches are always good. I don't think there's a bad way to do one.
It'll be entertaining. There's just not going to be any stakes to it at all.
Right.
You know?
Yeah. So, it is what it is.
Intercontinental Championship, Sheamus versus Braun Breaker ended in a DQ from Ludwig Kaiser.
Boo!
Boo! Boo! Boo!
Stupid.
We had a video package from the Wyatt Six where Bo Dallas fucking looked exactly like Bray Wyatt, and I was like, holy shit.
Terrifying.
Absolutely terrifying.
He already looks like him.
Yeah,
like,
he does, but that one, like, with the hair in his face and the way he was sitting, like, oh my god, it's uncanny, bro.
Yep, that's his brother.
And Bronson Reed versus Seth Rollins. Bloodline comes out and makes Seth Rollins lose the match. So presumably Rollins and Reed are going to be the 5th members. Reed aligning himself with the Bloodline. It's like kind of confirmed he is the 5th for them, or the new Bloodline. It's like confirmed he is. Yeah. Seth is still kind of iffy, but I imagine at this point it's going to be. We have one more thing we need to do before we say goodbye, Galeer.
What?
Predictions.
Some guy just cut me off. Can I hurt him?
Yeah, flip him off.
I can't. Dude, actually, no, I don't love driving. I was about to say I love driving. I fucking hate driving.
Oh my god.
Driving in the rain is like so much worse because people already don't let you like merge lanes. I'm just like, okay. But also like fuck the state, for like being like, okay, you have to turn left in the leftmost lane, and then in 0.5 miles, or not even like in 2 fucking feet, you have to turn on the far right lane, which is 4 lanes away. Tell me how that works.
Yeah, it's a little goofy.
I know you drive. Tell me how it works.
Yeah, I drive all the time, constantly.
He loves driving.
It's
guys.
my favorite pastime. Some days I'll just go for a drive.
All right, I'm focused now. I got where I need to be. Let's do predictions.
Predictions for AEW Full Gear 2024 for the DTC Intercontinental.
Yeah, ship it back to me. Just take the L already.
Big Boom AJ with Big Justice versus QT Marshall.
Hell yeah.
MJF versus Roderick Strong. I have mine.
I need to think. Okay.
Jay White versus Hangman Adam Page. You know, I think we're going to have a lot of differences here.
You think so?
I think we might.
Okay.
4-way tag team match for the AEW World Tag Team Championship. Private Party versus the Outrunners versus Kings of the Black Throne versus the Acclaimed.
It's going to be a banger.
It is.
It's going to be fun. That's what it's going to be.
It's going to be fun, then. Mercedes Moné with Camille versus Chris Statlander. Swerve Strickland versus Bobby Lashley. Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia. Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. And finally, Jon Moxley versus Orange Cassidy for the AEW World Championship. Are you ready to go through
Let's get it.
our
Let's
results?
Predict.
I've got Big Boom AJ with Big Justice winning.
I have also got Big Boom AJ.
All right. MJF versus Roderick Strong. I have Roddy.
I got MJF, baby.
All right. Jay White versus Hangman. I've got Jay White.
I've got Hangman.
Oh. Tag Team Championship, I've got Private Party retaining.
Yeah, same. I would commit a felony if they
I would be
lost it this
so
soon.
angry.
I'd be upset.
Mercedes versus Chris. I've got Chris for this.
I'm going to say Chris.
All right.
After our conversation, it has swayed me.
Bobby Lashley versus Swerve Strickland. I've got Bobby.
Robert
Lashland.
Yep.
Jack Perry versus Daniel Garcia. I got Garcia.
Yeah, Danny G, baby.
I gotta say, it's his time.
Let's go.
Will Ospreay, Kyle Fletcher. I've got Will.
I got Kyle.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, let's see it.
And then Mox versus Orange. I got Mox.
Mox,
So,
baby.
our
I just want to say, Jack Perry has looked like a fucking pussy
Yeah.
for
Yeah,
the
he
last
has.
since Wrestle Dreams, since this Daniel Garcia thing. He's looked like a certified bitch boy.
Yeah.
It is time to give up the gold.
Yeah.
He's like getting mad about them beating up, like destroying his bus. Bro, he's like a DIY king. He can just build it again.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what?
Do you think if Daniel Garcia wins the TNT title, they're just gonna like, are they gonna change it back? Or are they gonna keep like the black dirt look?
I think it'll change back. I kind of hope it does, because I feel like that really only suits Jack Perry.
Yeah.
I feel like that's very specific to him.
Mm.
But who's to say? Daniel Garcia's showing a bit of his, harder side.
His grit.
His grit and determination.
Oi. Crying Brian.
Crying Brian Danielson.
So our 3 deciding factors for this one will be Roderick Strong versus MJF, Jay White versus Hangman, and Will Ospreay versus Kyle Fletcher. That's pretty exciting.
I'm pretty sure they're all of the non-title matches.
Yeah, they are.
That's funny.
That's really funny, actually. Oh man.
That'll be good though. I'm gonna be at a party though.
Oh.
So
I'm gonna
don't
spoil.
it.
I'm gonna spoil everything. I'm gonna call you during the party.
I'm gonna sit in the corner of my party. It's Jerry's birthday party.
You're gonna just put it on. Jerry likes wrestling.
Jerry likes wrestling, but there's gonna be other people there.
Sorry, Jerry. I gotta watch AEW Full Gear. But anyway, thank you guys for joining us for this very AEW heavy episode. This was a long one, but it was a good one. I think we had a good little epi here. So thank you guys so much for watching, hanging out with us. We are very excited for AEW Full Gear. We got a lot more pay-per-views coming up. Survivor Series War Games next week. We
got Bloodsport this weekend.
Bloodsport this weekend. Saturday night's main event in a few weeks. Like, this shit's crazy, man. And then a couple weeks after that, we have World's End. And then a week after that, we have Fight for the Fallen and the Netflix premiere. God damn, dude.
My Netflix account is broken right now. I gotta figure that shit out.
Yeah, you're gonna have to.
They started location locking people.
Yeah, it's a tragedy.
It sure is.
But anyways, don't forget to give us money. Link for the Ko-Fi in the description below. Follow all our socials. Keep on sharing, liking, commenting, posting, all that jazz. And hey, Galeer, I hope you have a fully geared weekend.
I'm about 5 seconds from fully gearing my foot up your ass, pal.
Oh man, beep.
Wah, wah, wah.
Dropkick the Commute, shining bright in the night. Join the conversation, be part of the